Welcome to Coron Cars and welcome to a review of this Porsche 986 Boxster S. 3.2 litre flat 6 engine. The 986 generation was produced from 1996 to 2004. It's a popular mid-engined roadster convertible. I'm going to go through some key features, pros and cons of this car, see how it stacks up in today's world. This is a 2001 model before it was replaced after 2004 by the 987. Key features: it's got a mid-mounted, naturally aspirated 3.2 litre engine producing 250 brake horsepower for the Boxster S model, which this one is. They also had 2.5, 2.7 litre engines producing woefully sub than 250 brake horsepower. They range between 200 and 220 from memory. Rear wheel drive. It came in a 5-speed manual or 6-speed for the Boxster S. It is nice having that extra gear. Brings it into the modern age a little bit. As you can see, it has a convertible roof, electronically activated convertible top, fabric roof. Some of the early pre-2003 models came with a plastic rear window. Some of the later ones got revised to a glass type, which tended not to rip as much on the fabric, so that's a good upgrade if you're looking to get one of these. It has 2 boots, which offer surprisingly practical luggage space for such a small 2-seater sports car. One in the front, one in the back, so there's plenty of luggage space for you to take on a GT cruise or a long trip, or even go down to the supermarket. That beat many of its competitors at the time, like the MX-5, Honda S2000, BMW Z4s, only coming with 1 boot. This car has excellent chassis dynamics and hydraulic power steering. That was changed to electric in the post-2012 models, so this car's well praised for its great handling and feel in the roads, and I don't blame them. The brakes in this car has 4 piston calipers on all corners. Quite rare for most cars. 4 piston on the back, 4 piston on the front, with the S model picking up an extra larger and more powerful brake kit, often borrowed from the 996 911. So the brakes in this car are excellent. Great. It's got great stopping power for its size. I thought the brakes felt pretty good. Some of the pros include exceptional handling. The mid-engine layout provides near perfect weight distribution, resulting in a famously balanced and precise handling dynamic. It really does feel good in the palm of your hands and in the corners. Beautifully weighted. It has that classic Porsche driving experience. The engine sound, that flat 6, has a distinctive sonorous sound, especially after 4,000 RPM. It really does growl and bark at you, but you've got to rev it out to get that special note. It is often cited as a highlight, and I can see why. It's one of the best things about this car's engine, the sound. The affordability is also a major highlight. Decent examples anywhere between £6,000 to £10,000 for the S model, even less for the lesser models, making this an absolute bargain for modern day driving. You still want that old school analog feel, all those things that are missing in modern cars. This really has to be your best pound for pound for the money. Okay, some people will relate to it as a hairdresser's car, and it's got a bit of air about that, but from the inside, who cares? That's normally get behind the wheel and drive one, you'll soon forgive the looks. It's a fantastic little sports car. Still has those really cheap Porsche indicators. They're so flimsy and plasticky. Feels like you can break them with your little finger. They've still got them on the modern 911 GT3s that I recently reviewed. At least Porsche are consistent. I don't know why they do it, but they're consistent at least. Another pro is the timeless styling. It's influenced the 996 generation of 911s, and it really has aged well. It's a bit bubbly, but I still think it looks good by modern standards. There's less aero strakes and everything. It's a bit more simplistic, but sometimes that's a better thing. Sometimes you can overdo it, and this car has got the balance just right, I think. Some cons include the engine issues. The M96 has a notorious problem with the IMS bearing that you're probably well aware of. It's plagued the 996 and 997 Porsches, the 986 Boxsters for decades. If the intermediate shaft bearing goes, it can be a major failure point. Basically an engine rebuild, which is obviously going to be costly. It can lead to catastrophic failure, engine damage. A lot less common in later models, but still has a high risk. Though the amount of, the percentage of cars that actually suffered from it are very low. Between 3 and 5% for earlier models, and only up to 10% for later models. So you can argue that 90% of models, 95% of models are fine, and most of them should have been done. So check the maintenance history if you're looking to buy one. It's often done at the same time as the clutch. Another common fault are RMS leaks. Generally not catastrophic, but messy and costly due to labour. Bore scoring is also an issue. This engine likes to eat itself for some reason. Warm your engines up, use good oil. As a Porsche, parts are generally a lot more expensive. People often cite the Porsche tax, but it's normally specialised labour and routines to replace the car parts, and general maintenance significantly more expensive than general sports cars. So if you're expecting Mazda, BMW, Honda levels of maintenance costs, then you're gonna have to budget for a bit more, I'm afraid. Interior quality, generally a little cheap. I don't think the 996s are any better. My old 996, 911 Turbo didn't feel too much different to this. There is a lot of plastic on the dash, but there's also a fair amount of leather. Door handles, the wheel, the seats. It's not that unluxurious in here. Still tops most other cars, but it was Porsche's base model, so don't expect royalty in here. Suffer from wear. This one's held up very nicely indeed. The early base model power of the 2.5 litre and 2.7 litre cars was also a con. Pretty underpowered, especially by modern standards. Probably even by the current standards back in the early 2000s, to be honest. Having a woeful 200, 220 brake horsepower in a Porsche doesn't exactly impress your mates. Convertible top maintenance. Most convertible tops can fail, and usually costly when they go wrong. That's not specific to Porsche. There's just more engines, hydraulics, mechanisms going on, so that's always a risk. That's the price you pay for feeling the wind in your hair. As I mentioned earlier, the rear plastic windows can crack, so something to keep an eye on, or replace it with a glass one. There's solutions for these problems. Don't be too afraid of old cars. It's often about how well they're maintained and how well you look after them. This was the model that saved Porsche from bankruptcy. They were strapped for cash, got into the mid-engine sports car market and blew the competition away. still revered and being produced to this day. You could even argue this is a lot of the Porsche driving experience. There is a lot of it here. The DNA is 100% in this car. Is it 90%? It's a lot. It's probably 90% for 90% less cost. Most of the optional extras on 911s are going to cost more than this car, which is mad to think. The miracle of depreciation. Talking of which, this car is actually heavily sought after now, being one of the naturally aspirated proper Porsches before they went all soft and turbo, and you lose that roar of the engine at the back. These cars are actually appreciating, going up in value. Not all cars lose value, so if you want a car that's not going to lose value, buy this. The market is always strong when it comes to Porsches. They're very good at holding their value, and they do often go up, and this one is going up. It's certainly not going down, so enjoy it while you can. People often don't factor in the cost of depreciation, and the fact that some cars do appreciate is hardly ever factored in either. So when you factor in the fact this car's going up rather than down, it's a very strong argument to get one. Nothing better than a great car that goes up in value. Means you get paid to drive it. Thank you very much to Peter for lending me this car to review. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode on Career on Cars.